Roja to Hamid, Bollywood's portrayal of Kashmir over the years. To truly gauge India's relationship with the Kashmir conflict, one only needs to look at the cinema that has emerged from the subcontinent. Whether it's mainstream Bollywood films like Mission Kashmir that have portrayed a melodramatic perspective, or more indie offerings like Harud that have created space for alternative narratives that steer clear of traditional storytelling. Kashmir's complicated history continues to inspire stories. Here's a glimpse of 8 such films that have tried to do justice to the region by putting a face to the violence and trauma that has engulfed the beautiful valleys of Kashmir. Roja. Mani Ratnam's Roja, starring Madhu, Arvind Swamy, and Pankaj Kapoor, is an unexpected love story that blooms against the backdrop of a conflicted Kashmir. After her arranged marriage with Rishi, played by Arvind Swamy, a simple Tamil-speaking Roja, played by Madhu, finds herself helpless and struggling in the aftermath of her husband's abduction. As Roja tries to garner support from the government for the release of her husband, Rishi attempts to reason and negotiate with militants who are determined to free Kashmir from India. Mission Kashmir. With bleeding memories of his parents' death, an orphan named Altaf, played by Hrithik Roshan, is taken in by a policeman Inayat Khan, played by Sanjay Dutt, and his wife. All is well until Altaf discovers that to truly avenge his parents' death, he needs to kill Inayat Khan. With a history of trauma and violence, Altaf finds his way back to the strife-torn corners of Kashmir that had destroyed his life several years ago. Directed by Vidhu Vinod Chopra, Mission Kashmir stars Hrithik Roshan, Sanjay Dutt, and Preeti Zinta. It is a story of revenge, betrayal, and how both are caught in an endless cycle of toxicity in conflicted Kashmir. Yaha. When Shujit Sarkar's directorial debut film Yaha released in 2005, it didn't fare as well at the box office despite playing with themes that resonated deeply with Indians. In Yaha, Kashmiri Muslim woman Ada, played by Minisha Lamba, and a Hindu man Aman, played by Jimmy Shergill, fall in love. But the relationship has its own hurdles to cross as Aman belongs to the Indian Army and Ada's brother Shakil is involved with terrorists seeking to separate Kashmir from India. Their relationship loses its undercover status soon, and suddenly a hint of suspicion is enough for the Indian Army to turn their backs on Aman. A classic tale of how love can conquer all, Yaha is set against the gorgeous valley of Kashmir, a reminder of how goodness and beauty can thrive anywhere and everywhere. Taha. Directed by Santosh Sivan, Taha is the story of an eponymous child who, on his quest to get back his pet donkey Birbal, finds himself sucked into the vortex of war and violence as he is assigned the delivery of a grenade. As Taha tries to get back Birbal, it's his innocence that is both his greatest weakness as well as strength. Shot against the rugged, wintry landscapes of Kashmir, Taha's climax scene hits hard for how it juxtaposes the innocence of human lives with the hard-hitting reality of terrorism. Sikandar. Piyush Jha's Sikandar is an exploration of child psyche in a conflict-ridden environment such as Kashmir. The film follows the story of a 14-year-old boy named Sikandar, played by Farzan Dastoor, and his drastic descent into the world of terrorism after he accidentally catches hold of a gun on his way back from school. As Sikandar gets embroiled in a warfare that has absolutely nothing to do with him, innocent lives are lost and Sikandar is rendered helpless in the situation. The film also stars Sanjay Suri, R. Madhavan, and Aisha Kapoor. Harud. Unable to cope with the death of his brother, Rafiq tries to unsuccessfully escape Kashmir and cross over to Pakistan. Back to his frayed reality, Rafiq comes across his brother's old camera and embarks on a path of self-discovery by stepping into his brother's shoes. Amir Bashir's Harud delves into the ups and downs of life in Kashmir, how every little aspect is affected by the region's militancy. The film stars Shahnawaz Bhatt and Reza Naji and is set in Srinagar. Haider. Starring Shahid Kapoor and Tabu, Vishal Bharadwaj's Haider blends classic literature with contemporary Indian politics. An adaptation of Shakespeare's Hamlet, Haider follows the story of a young man, Haider, and his trauma as both come of age in a bloody Kashmir. Haider, who comes home to investigate his father's death at the hands of the militants, is ambushed by the discovery of his mother's relationship with his uncle. As Shahid's character struggles to move on with the past and the present intertwined, constituently tugging at his heels, he gets embroiled in a toxic web of revenge and violence. Hamid. Set against the morbid actuality of stone pelting and gunfire, Hamid is a story of hope and kindness. Directed by Ejaz Khan, Hamid takes us to the modern-day Kashmir where a neglected and lonely child, Hamid, played by Taha Arshad Reshi, is convinced that the number 786 is that of God. In his quest to find this God, Hamid befriends a stranger, a CRPF Jawan named Abhay. As the latter decides to humor him, their lives are enriched by each other's presence, though fleeting and full of misunderstandings. Hamid stars Rasika Duggal, Vikas Kumar and Talha Arshad Reshi.